Hi there, wonderful awakening beings and spiritual souls. JoRose@JoRose.com, numerologist and energy forecaster. In this video, I'm sharing with you the numerology forecast for June 2025. But before I do, let's recap what 2025 has in store for us. It's a 9 energy. How do we know this? By adding together and reducing down all the digits of the current year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. What is the 9 gifting to us this year? It's the energy of love, kindness, compassion. I'm going to say these slowly because I really want them to sink in so that you really connect with the energy of 2025. So recapping those 3, love, kindness, compassion. It's charitable. It's about contribution. It's devoted, empathetic and generous. Helpful, hospitable, inventive, loyal, passionate, sensitive, supportive, sympathetic, tender, thoughtful. It's about trust, warm and wise. With all energy, there is always a flip side. So let me share the flip side because we need to know what energy is coming forward, nudging us, knocking us, startling us or triggering us. It can be anxious, bigoted, cold, conniving, deceitful, defensive, dramatic, erratic, impatient. Jealousy is a strong trait. Moody, narcissistic. Yes, we all have a little bit of narcissism within us. Well, to be fair, we all have a little bit of many of the traits. It can be oversensitive, resentful, revengeful, skeptical, suspicious, unforgiving and unstable. Have you noticed where these traits come up in your life, whether they are within you or external? When they come up internally, yes, you can work on them. Are they serving you? Are they empowering you or disempowering you? If you see them externally, what are they highlighting? What are they reflecting and mirroring back? Is it a behaviour you still need to work on? Is it a behaviour that you've allowed to push you down and in a 9, it's no more, we're going to let go? The 9 is nudging us to up level. It's the end of an epicycle. It's also a nudge to let go. If you want to recap on the energy for 2025, please do go and check my video, 2025 Numerology Forecast. I'll leave the link in the description below. Now, June is the 6th month. When we add 6 to 9, it equals 15. So we've got a 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So a 15-6 vibration. Yes, we focus on the base number of 6, but I find it always very interesting to look at what makes up the number. Now, we tend to see this more when we look at master numbers or karmic debt numbers, and 15-6 is not a karmic debt number. However, the 6 is about family, but we've got a 15-6, the 1 and 5. The 1 is about the self and the 5 is about freedom. Is it time to own yourself, find yourself and be free within the family environment? They say blood is thicker than water and we tend to stay connected, but it doesn't always serve us. It can be dragging us down, as I'm going to be sharing in a moment. The one thing we can never get enough of is love. And the one thing we never give enough of is love. This month, start with you. Love yourself fully. You know my saying, It's your life, spelled L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first every day. This is the foundation for life. This is the foundation for living, for giving, for thriving. People treat us the way we treat ourselves. So start with the love you want to receive to the self. Set yourself free from family dynamics and dramas. Extend it to community sections, whether that be on your social media, your Facebook, or any other social media connection platforms that you interact with. Extend it to your workplace. Extend it nationally. When you go out, a smile brings great joy. Love is the best source of energy. Being kind to people. In a world where the hamster wheel is going full on and the media is fear driving us, step back. Go back into love. Go back into source energy. Turn off the news. Go away from the external world. It's out there, but when you work on yourself, you can see it differently. It's all a matter of perspective. As a soul, we are whole and complete. The things to remember: you are a soul wearing a human bodysuit, a human disguise. And looking at the external world, no one knows where it's going. When you work on your internal world, the change becomes magical. Miracles happen. As I've said many times, we're a soul having a human experience. Is this the month it escalates to a higher level? For you, for me, for the people around us. All the answers we seek lie within. Everything externally is someone else's perspective. No one knows you like you. Relationships nudge us forward as a push or a pull. Looking at the sixth vibration, the sixth energy, on the empowering aspect, the six has all of those I've already shared that the 9 has. The 6 is about community, and the 9 is the international number, the universal energy. The 9 is a higher, wider scale than the 6. So on the positive, empowering side, many of the traits are similar. That said, the disempowering traits are different. And yes, while the 6 also has anxiety, there's a lot more going on here. On the flip side of the 6 energy, including anxiety, it can be analytical, authoritarian, the backseat driver, the complainer, critical of self and others, demeaning, dictatorial, the doubter, envious, intrusive, jealous, meddlesome. Think helicopter parenting as I go through this. Oppressive, pessimistic, possessive, pushy, resentful. Mum gives up so much for the child. Dad works so hard for the child. That teenager doesn't get it. Sanctimonious, skeptical, self-righteous, unrealistic, and a warrior. The 6 energy is here to counsel, serve, and heal. The 9 energy is about compassion, forgiveness, and transformation. The 9 is really bringing in a transformation, not just for the self, but for the masses and for the control system that governs most of us. 6 is about responsibility. And if you go back to 2026, my tag for that year was responsibility versus sacrifice. You know the one for this year? It's Trance-END to Transcend. We need to wake up. We need to look at things on a different level. So with 6 being about responsibility, The only person you are truly responsible for is you, your life, and your well-being. Yes, I fully understand that as parents, we have children to take care of and look after. But something we forget that the six will remind us of is we need to meet everyone where they're at, accept everyone, their idiosyncrasies, their way they look at the world, the way they do things. Now, yes, we can offer advice, but the sixes don't interfere, wait to be asked. It's the number of the counsellor. We go to see a counsellor when we're looking for guidance, a different perspective. So while normally I would say within the 6 vibration, perhaps it's time for you to listen more and speak less and hear what those around you are saying. The 6 often calls out for us to look after those younger, older, or appear to be in need. And this is how the 6 can become a doormat, because they're forever wanting to fix it and make it right so that other people don't feel pain. Pain tells us we're alive. Pain tells us something is out of kilter. And yes, we have physical pain, but that's come way after we have not listened to the mental, emotional pain. The physical pain stops us in our track. So I'm asking this month for you to go within and look at your own physical pain in a year of release. If you want to help others, if you want to support others, because that is the vibration of the 6 and the 9, then start by helping and supporting the self and allow your discoveries that elevate you to radiate outwardly so that you can inspire others. Those that fully support you will be inspired, and those that are not will fall away. Let them go. Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself while pleasing everyone else. The 9 and 6 bring up family dynamics. We are impacted by our family. Perhaps it's time to return to the inner child, the one that wasn't seen or heard, the one that was silence pushed down, the one that most of your programming today stems from. It's time to work on parent wounds. Now, I bring up parent wounds because it was brought to my attention recently that I have a mother wound. This has had me investigate and look deeper into my relationship with my mother. And it was really interesting when I was swimming the other day, and I'd done about 8 lengths. 40 is my target because that makes a mile. So I had been 8 lengths in, and there was a disabled lady there, and she was on the edge of the pool. And I just happened to mention to her that the Lido had a hoist. Perhaps I shouldn't. I wasn't invited to offer any piece of information. But being a fixer, I offered this information, and the lady wasn't too pleased with what I said. She was perfectly capable of dealing with herself, and I apologised. Now, the lady could have responded differently, and I wouldn't have felt so bad. But I carried on swimming, and it took another 20 lengths for my aha moment to set in. My mother's currently in a wheelchair. And unlike this lady, my mother appears to be able to do nothing, knows everything, and knows nothing at the same time, depending on her mood. Always looking to help mum, always looking to please mum, but not being heard, brought up a lot of things for me. And so this month, with the 6 and 9 energy, the family dynamics, and going deeper, I have put together some slides on parent wounds. And no matter whether you were swaddled in cotton wool or wrapped in barbed wire, there will always be an issue out there that your soul has chosen to work on. And when I look at the numerology, We each have challenges and lessons that we're here to learn. And the sooner we learn them, the sooner they no longer bother us. We grow exponentially. Just before I share the slides, when we look at the number 6, the 6 is round like a pregnant woman. The 6 is the number of birth and death, marriage and divorce. These can take place in the 6 energy. But are we truly ready for any of these 4 things? How can we parent another until we know how to parent the self? How can we love and commit to another until we know how to love and commit to the self? Self-love is not selfish. It's a necessity. It's the foundation to thrive. It's the foundation of living a great life. Death is not only the end of life, it's the end of a cycle. This 9-year is bringing us to an end of a cycle of 9 years. We are currently in the last 1 to 9 cycle, because the next one doesn't appear for a number of years, that I have been highlighting various areas to work on, to release in order to move on, because next year in 2026, that one energy is a new beginning, a fresh start. You want to be on firm, solid ground. Yes, there will be still things to let go of, but let go of everything that is not allowing you to excel into your true designer lifestyle that you've created for yourself as a soul before arriving here. And with regard to divorce, divorce brings a separation. Now, if we've had children together, we're never truly separated, but it brings separation. And why do we get to that point? We were either ill prepared or we have received the learning we needed and it's time to move on. Everything is energy. Energy does never disappear. It transmutes into something else. And sometimes relationships come to an end, and that can be a relationship with things, people, and old habits, old programming that you no longer need. So parent wounds. Have you ever considered you had one? I, for one, hadn't really considered I had a parent wound. Yes, there were issues between my parents and myself, but I just looked at it as life, and perhaps it is. But when we look at it as a parent wound, the parents were also wounded in some format. When we heal the self, we heal the self for our ancestors past, present, and future. We change the energy, we transmute the energy. This is just a snippet that I'm sharing with you because there are far more parent wounds than what I'm going to share. But looking at the numerology, we have a year when we can work on and release these wounds. They could be low self-esteem, fear of conflict, emotional suppression, perfectionism, fear of abandonment, people-pleasing, difficulty trusting others, over-dependence on approval, not being heard. Now, just by me saying those, you may feel, oh yes, some of them resonate with me. But your numbers can tell you the ones that are really crippling you. In your numerology, you have core numbers, your life path, your day of birth, your expression, your heart's desire, your maturity number. You also have challenge numbers and cycles. When you look at what these numbers are, you can look deeper into what one of these would benefit you first, because there'll be many to work on. So if you fell into the low self-esteem, challenges that you may find are self-criticism, avoid challenges and opportunities, over-apologising, deflects compliments, constant comparing. Now, I can go into greater depth of all of these, but that's maybe another video, depending whether this is something that interests you. So I'm going to go through them a little bit quickly now. The second one, fear of conflict. Perhaps you avoid difficult conversations, are into people pleasing, bottling up emotions, have a passive aggressive behaviour, or are over accommodating. What about if it was a 3 vibration? Emotional suppression. You're bottling up emotions, avoiding difficult conversations, passive aggressive communications, struggle to label your own emotions, and you have numbing behaviours. They avoid having the confrontation. What if perfectionism is your one? Now, for me, this is a major one. My life path happens to be this. And when I add my day and month together, yeah, you've got it. I've got that 4 again. Procrastination, overworking, inability to delegate, fear of failure, and excessive self-criticism. If you think a 4 criticizes you, they criticize themselves way more. 5, fear of abandonment, clinginess, self-sabotage, over-jealousy, suspicion, accommodating, fear of intimacy. Often we find a 5 that doesn't commit. Somewhere they've been hurt, and a 5 looks to escape. And the 5 doesn't just let out, it can actually look for substances or addictive behaviours to escape. What if it's a 6, the people pleasing? You struggle to say no, you act out conflict avoidance, suppress true feelings, neglect personal needs, and have a constant need for validation. 7, difficulty trusting others. Your overguardedness, constant suspicion, clinginess in relationships, sabotage in relationships, and over-analysing. What you done, what you said, what they done, what they said. 8, over-dependence on approval, seeking constant validation, conforming to others' expectations, not your own. Fear of rejection, over-analysing interactions, and avoid the authentic self-expression. Now, obviously, because I'm talking about parent wounds, these are negative vibrations. If you don't have that in your 8, then you are doing really well. You're working on the positive aspects. And 9, not being heard. Withdrawing from conversations, over-explaining, interrupting others, internalising rejection, passive-aggressive communication. I have noticed in many of my videos that I overgive, over-explain. I can be passive-aggressive because all I want is for people to realise their true potential, to transcend, to transcend. We know what the media push is rough and harsh, and it doesn't feel right at our core, especially if we are sensitive, empathetic, have compassion, worry about the underdog. So that said, I'm going to share some practices that could benefit you. Work on self-reflection and awareness. Do an audit on yourself. Be in the moment. Be aware of what you're doing. It will help you take stock. Does it feel right? Is it bringing you what you want? And always have an intention of love, kindness, and compassion. Practice self-compassion. What is that self-talk? Are you kind to yourself, or do you belittle yourself? A way to be in the present moment is to explore creative outlets. Recently, I've been going to art workshops, and it's really opened me up to new things. Set healthy boundaries. The boundaries are for you, not for the other people. For you to know when somebody's overstepped them. So set healthy boundaries. Know when to say no. And know that sometimes saying yes could change your world. Seek professional support. It's not easy to do this work on your own. So find the support you need. Different form of support. Build a supportive network around you. Look to the people that elevate you, that aren't jealous, that don't pull you back because they've got their own agenda. Manage mindful practices, meditation, gardening, some form of creativity, home cooking, chopping the vegetables. They're meditative ways. You don't have to sit there, legs crossed, meditating. Get out in nature, hug a tree, breath work, practice positive self-talk. Become your cheerleader. Look at everything you've overcome. And if you've overcome that, then you can overcome this. And reframe negative beliefs. Take a look at your numerology. What numbers stand out for you? What parent wounds stand out for you? And set time aside this month to work on it. Now that may feel heavy, and I want to say it needn't be when you get your ahas. I have been working on this last month, which for me was a 9 personal month. Well, in the 9 universal year, the 5 universal month was telling me to look at things differently. And instead of looking and blaming and shaming, look for the lesson, the gift, and see how it elevates you. Now, another part of the 6th energy is the home. And making our environment work for us can help us with all the other stuff that we are working internally with. So this month, in a year of letting go, let's look at how we can make our home environment better. I've got some tips on decluttering here. So 1, set a timer. As always, pause the videos and read what I say. But setting a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and focusing on a task. While I was doing my preparation for this video, I was in my kitchen cupboard. I had moved in and I had just thrown everything in the cupboard. And this cupboard was now beginning to get to me. That randomly, I decided to pull everything out of this one cupboard and rearrange it. Now, every time I open that cupboard door, I feel elated that I can see everything and I know what's in there. I even found some biscuits, which was just what I needed at the time. Even if you only have 5 to 10 minutes, all small steps eventually lead to big change. Tip number 2, 1 in, 1 out rule. Every time you buy something new, let something go. Now I'm talking to me here, and mine isn't necessarily clothes, it's books. And I think it's time I went through my books and not buy any more, because there's no more room on the shelf and there's no more space in this smaller house to buy and install more book space. So it's going to be 1 in, 1 out. And because I've been doing something creative and I want to progress with this, I need space for my paints and art materials. So this is going to be one that I do. And this will help you for later in life. Have you ever heard of the Swedish death clearing? I've already mentioned 6 is about death. 9 is about death. Now, I'm not saying you're going to die, but imagine if you did. What mess are you leaving behind? Is there something you don't want your family to see? Is there something you want your family to have? If there was a fire, can you get to the doors? Having a tidy house is a tidy mind. And I know many people will say the creators have a messy house. Honestly, having a tidy house will serve you so much more. Number 1, it will not drain your energy. So let's carry on and see what tip number 3 is. Tackle one area at a time. I already mentioned my cupboard. Now, this is not my cupboard and this is a bigger cupboard, but just look at the difference. Doing a zone, completing a zone encourages continuation. Tip number 4, use a donation box. Now, the donations can be gifts. They can even be things that you've borrowed that need to go back to their rightful owner. One person's clutter is another person's treasure. You've done with it, pass it along. Tip number 5, clear surfaces. When you finish with that room at the end of the day, clear the surface. And also, while I'm here on this point, perhaps it's time to elevate the surface or the space. Has your child outgrown their child bedroom? What if this month you spent some time gifting your teenager a space that suits them? Or created an art space for you, or a den somewhere where you can go and relax. Tip 6, sort your mail immediately. People let red letters build up. They can't find things they're looking for. It just sits on the kitchen work surface. So many people's houses have a space on the work surface or on the hall console table. Go through your post immediately. And if it's something you can deal with, action it. Get rid of the junk mail. And if it's something that's got to be done in a period of time, set yourself up folders. Create a home office system and put them in month order. Tip 7, and this is my worst, probably my worst, and it's like mowing the lawn. It just keeps coming back. And that's your online, your digital clutter. Set time aside every time you go on your laptop, maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe 5, depending how organized you are. And delete outdated stuff, delete spam, unsubscribe from some of those emails. Clear out your Facebook, your YouTube accounts, etc. You'll be amazed at how much lighter you feel with each one of these decluttering tips. Sort your photographs out. Put them in some kind of order, whether that be chronological, themed, people. There's so many duplicates. You don't really need to store your stuff in the cloud. And honestly, it's not in a cloud, it's on someone else's server and someone else has access to it. Whether that be Microsoft, whether that be Apple, someone has access to it. When it's just on your phone, it's yours. And with the world going the way it is, be cautious, be mindful of what you've got on there and where it might end up. Tip number 8. As you close the house down, one thing I always do, and I'd ask my children, and they're very good at it, is leave the room as you found it. So if you've been in the living space, whatever you call it, the sitting room, and the cushions are down, you've had a blanket to keep warm, etc., put everything back where it belongs. And another tip, how do you feel in the morning when your sink is full of dirty dishes? I like to arrive in my kitchen with a clear sink. So make sure the washing up's done or it's loaded in the dishwasher. And tip number 9, limit sentimental items. Now, I'm not saying get rid of them, but how many pictures do you need up? And do you look at them? What if you changed your photos with the season or of the month? It helps you work with your memories, and especially for those that are older, that perhaps are struggling with memory challenges. Changing the photos brings up different moments, different periods in your life. And another tip, make a collage. Over my daughter's life, she has visited places, had great plane tickets, been to the pyramids, whatever, concerts, gigs. She has saved tickets and made a collage. Now, this is not her collage, but her collage is a thick one, and she even has a Lego version of her boyfriend, and their cat that sits in the bottom of it. It brings back magical moments and memories. It reminds you why you are together as a family, why you are together as a couple. The 6 is about home and family. The 6 can be about moving home, renovating a home, redecorating a home, or just maintaining a home. But home is where the heart is. And at the end of the day, we want to go home. So make your home a place you want to be. And the body is the home of the soul. Look after your body because it's there looking after your soul. Notice people this month. Notice yourself. Here's a slide that many years ago hit me hard on why I look to help people, look to people please. The loneliest people are the kindest people. If somebody's really kind, check in with them. Do they have companionship? Are they appreciated at home? The saddest people smile the brightest. They are hiding so much pain. They know what pain feels like, and they smile big because they want to uplift whoever receives that smile. And the most damaged people are the wisest. So back to my parent wound as I close this off. My father's rejection because I looked like my mother. My mother's rejection because I stunted her life. From all of this, I have worked on how I connect with people. I've worked on being kind. I've worked on finding solutions. I am probably one of the most resourceful people I know, because if I don't know the answer, I will go find it. This month, become your life coach, become your counselor, become your cheerleader, become the one that cleanses and clears and heals your ancestral line, past, current and future. I'm wishing you an amazing 6-9 vibration this month. Do the inner work on yourself and in your home, and let me know what changes for you. I know since this parent wound issue came up for me, I have done quite a lot of work, and I feel so much more sparkly and better for really looking at the gifts these negative traits gave me. I don't need to overprove anything. And if you've noticed, I've not even justified what's been going on in the outside world to prove my point with regards to numerology and energy. Everything is energy. Love is the greatest form of energy that we can have. And when you self-love, you can change your world. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please do and push that bell for notification. If you've learned anything from this video or know anyone that can benefit, please share my videos. And leave your comments below. What are you working on this month? What is your parent wound? You may discover that your parents lived a hard life too, but you will be the one that stops it. Have an amazing month. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And remember, it's your life.